Hello, welcome to Soul Luna Insights. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. This reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I've already laid the cards out and prayed over them. I pray that this message helps you on your soul journey, provides you with clarity, and helps you on your soul ascension. So let's just get straight into it. So Libra, we're starting off here where I feel like a couple of you guys have been seriously hurt and disappointed and wounded, emotionally wounded by somebody in your life who you really care about. For some of you guys, this is a prospective partner, while for others, I'm seeing a family member. And I say that because in this first card, your first card here is strength. And although this card, in general, is a pretty positive card, I feel that because I read by imagery as well as traditional meaning, sometimes it depends how it comes through. But I'm seeing here that somebody has taken you out of character, Libra. Someone has energetically left you a bit out of sorts. And so I'm seeing here as though, yes, somebody disappointed you. Somebody let you down or gratefully hurt you in the past. For some of you guys, this is a recent past, while other people, this could be a distant past. This is actually kind of reminding me of the Leo reading. Some of you guys may have a Leo placement as well. And so I'm seeing here where it's like this wounding or whatever disappointment, like I'm seeing like some of you guys, someone may have ghosted you, someone may have abandoned you, or left you feeling just out in the cold of some sorts. And even though the Five of Pentacles, which is usually the card of being left out of the cold, is not here, I'm just getting that if somebody left you out of the cold, something or somebody who you really trusted or were just very emotionally invested into has left you in a state of being fairly discombobulated, honestly. And I'm seeing here that the emotions that they have invoked have left you kind of feeling lost and just not feeling yourself, okay? And for some of you, I'm feeling as though you may be either, I'm getting two sides of this. There are some of you guys who, whatever occurred with you and this person, some of you guys are blaming yourself, while others of you are harboring a lot of anger, resentment, and maybe bad wishes towards the other individual. And I'm seeing that whatever happened, whatever issue occurred or fallout, this was a very big tower moment in your life. And it left you kind of feeling like you're in an introspective state. And kind of pondering, left you kind of pondering your existence, your sense of self-worth, your sense of direction in life, your sense of value. And I'm just saying that it was a really big blow to how you perceive yourself. And I'm wondering if this person taking you out of character, like I said, it seems like this person has taken you out of character or just out of sorts, made you feel out of sorts, like just feeling discombobulated, which that's not even a term I usually use, but that's what's coming through. And I feel like this is somehow the divine, or God, the divine source, the most high, however you refer to the energy that created all that um is saying here. I'm not sure if you, because some of you guys may be in front of this energy while others of you guys may be behind this energy. And what I mean by that is some of you guys may be currently going through this fallout or whatever situation is occurring that left you feeling um, out of the cold and kind of defeated. That energy, whatever that situation is that's bringing that energy, that's bringing this tower moment, that's shaking your life up. Some of you guys may be going through it right now, and others of you may be past that. So if you are currently in the hermit energy or in the tower energy, what the divine is saying is that all of this was to happen, was meant to happen for a reason. And although right now you may have been, this situation may have kind of plummeted you or ricocheted you into a feeling of depression, loneliness, isolation. Um, all of this was meant to occur in order for you to come to this energy. And so this is the Judgment card, which is the Libra card. But I'm feeling like usually, so Judgment often has to do with, oh no, this is actually Justice is the Libra card. But Judgment, so I take that back. But Judgment, I also really does remind me of Libra as well, Justice and Judgment. And I feel like in this, what's going on in this picture here, because like I said, I read more so not just by traditional meaning, but by imagery. I'm seeing here as though after this tower moment coming into your life, exposing you, leaving you discombobulated, leaving you out of sorts, and you enter this hermit energy, the reason for the hermit energy is for this to occur. And I'm seeing this as a soul ascension, a soul, an awakening. And for a lot of you guys, I'm seeing that this situation is somehow pushing you towards developing your spiritual side and developing your spirituality. And I'm seeing that the divine was using this this situation, which feels like a setback, to kind of shoot you forward on your journey, on your spiritual journey. Because just like kind of like how an arrow has to be pulled back in order to go forward, it's like this energy is kind of catapulting you into the depths of yourself so that you can see what area of your life you need to work on. Three of Pentacles is the work card, and it's the collaboration, work. And I'm seeing it here as these different people are just representing, these two girls right here are representing you working with your shadow self and your higher self and source or the divine. And that's what I'm seeing these three parts as. And you can shift them around. It's not specific to each person. It's not specific to the person. I'm just pointing at different people, but it's just saying that I feel like there's a collaboration working with you, your higher self, your shadow, and the divine, to kind of shed light on areas where you need to work within yourself. Because what I'm seeing is whoever hurt you, whether that was a family member, whether that was a lover or a potential lover or a friend, it's all coming to a lack of boundaries within yourself. And some of it may be also tied to inner childhood wounds and different issues that came from the past. And so often a lot of us avoid shadow work and avoid looking at the parts of ourselves that need to be corrected, that need to be healed, and that need to be sorted through. And what usually does often promote that shadow work is some sort of situation that triggers those wounds and that causes us to look at them, because without something triggering them, they can go unhealed uh, for our whole lifetime and for many lifetimes to come. And I don't know if what your beliefs are in terms of reincarnation and parallel universes or anything of that sorts, or any type of thing of where any type of concept that's just honing in on the idea that we have several lives and there are multiple realities existing for us in any given moment. And so what I'm seeing here is the divine, God, the Most High is saying that, Libra, there is so much more waiting for you, but that future was dependent on you healing this some of these wounds from the past. And so whoever has hurt you, as I said, whether that was a prospective partner, a parent, a family member, or a friend, all of this was designed to highlight the parts of you that need to be healed, the parts of you that need to be tended to, the boundaries that need to be set, the self-worth that needs to be developed or cultivated, the self-love that needs to be cultivated. And that's why actually one of your oracle cards, which I had picked out the oracle cards ahead of time, was potion. And at the bottom it says, remember to practice self-love. And so I'm feeling like, even how the girl in the picture says basic witch, I feel as though that, just the basic part, I feel like you right now, whatever happened is making you question your sense of self-worth, and you're feeling as though whatever happened is a reflection of who you are. And what the divine is saying is that no, it has nothing to do with that. But what it does have to do with is highlighting the limiting beliefs you have about yourself and the low vibrational perception you have about who you are at times. And what I'm seeing here again is that once you come out of this hermit energy and you're gonna be, and you go through this awakening of sorts, or enlightenment of sorts, you are going to be fully aware of what parts of you need to work on. And as you work on them, you're going to be reignited and revitalized and re-energized. And you're going to find yourself feeling very creative and very courageous and ready to take action in your life. Because what the divine is saying is that the divine does not want you to stay in this depressive energy, because what happens is when we stay in that space, there's a purpose for it, but sometimes we prolong it. Like there's a quote that says, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. When we are going through constant suffering, whether it is psychological or mental, emotional, and that's all encompassed really in psychological. It's just that is a choice, because what happens is we are choosing to keep dwelling on thoughts and feelings that do not serve us and that keep us in a state of feeling trapped, defeated, unworthy, unloved, and so on and so forth. And so what the divine is telling me is that you, Libra, even through your oracle cards, I'm going to jump to your oracle cards over here a little bit more. You got 3 oracle cards. You got the Andean Cross, the Time Master, and the Ancient Ones. And so the card of the Ancient Ones is referring to ancestors and master teachers, people who have transcended the earth plane and who have evolved out of this 3D reality into a higher reality. And what this message, what usually the message that comes from this card is, it's telling you not to hold on to resentment or pain of the past, because what that does is you may have it, like, for example, you may, let's say right now that you are having an issue with a family member, or with a friend or lover, and so on and so forth. You have to look at yourself and make sure that you are not handling situations in a way or in a pattern that matches the generational dysfunction in your family. What do I mean by that? Let's say for example, this is just an example. Let's say, for example, that your father is the one who hurt you right now and disappointed you. And maybe, right now you're harboring a lot of resentment for him. And he also harbored a lot of resentment for his father, which is why he also acts the way he does. And now you're harboring resentment for him, and then you're going to pass that energy on to your own children. And so what I'm saying is really just that this card is asking you to break generational curses and to not carry negative energies that are passed, or negative patterns of behavior or personality traits that lead to dysfunction years and years to come. Like, I feel like what's being said here is you forgiving these by you forgiving whoever has hurt you, and by healing yourself and bettering yourself, you make sure that you don't pass on these certain traits and characteristics to your children and to the generations to come underneath you and to your kin. And so what it does is it breaks whatever power this person has on over you. Because what's happening is, if you decide to hold on to resentment of this person, and rather than looking at yourself and trying to use this moment to analyze your own patterns of behavior and look at what enabled this person to hurt you. Because, for example, if this was a lover, let's say if you're in a relationship and this person's constantly doing things to you, and you have several stories about all the bad things this person has said to you and done to you, what in you made you stay around to even endure all those stories, so you have all those stories to tell? What in you made you feel that you were not worthy of immediately cutting off that energy once it was not a reflection of the love you deserve? Something within you enabled that. And so this card, to me, along with the Andean cross right here, the Andean cross speaks to multidimensionality, and I see this as like a portal to other versions and higher aspects of self, as well as lower, but just different multiple dimensions of self, and maybe even parallel universes of one's own life, being able to experience different timelines of one's own life. So I feel like this card coming up to me is saying to you that this is a moment where the divine God, the Most High, is supporting you in jumping into a higher aspect of yourself and jumping into a new timeline, which serves you better by healing the wounds you have, looking at yourself dead on, looking at the flaws within you, looking at the places, the wounds, the place that need to be healed, and putting attention on that and shining light on that and allowing. And once you shine light on it, it doesn't have power over you. Once you acknowledge it 100%, it no longer has power over you, because whenever that same energy, personality trait, behavior rears its ugly head, you notice it because you fully have addressed it and acknowledged it. And so when it shows itself, you see it and you stop it and you cut it at where it's at. And by changing these, or by healing and changing these aspects of self that no longer serve you, and by allowing yourself to ascend to a higher version of yourself and ascend to a better state of being, what you do is you become the time master. This is the third oracle card that you got, and this is all from the shaman. This is from, what deck is this? This is from the mystical shaman oracle. Forgot the name real quick. And so the time master is a master of time. A lot of the times us human beings, we think time is linear, but time is a lot more complex and a lot more multifaceted than that. Okay, so what is going on here is, with the time master, is basically, like I said, once you take control of yourself and you decide to behave in a new way, you are able to shift your timeline. So I don't know how much you guys know about timelines, but there is, people do have the belief that there are multiple dimensions and multiple timelines of reality. And so a timeline really is just a parallel universe to this one, where you may be living and acting and being different than you are in this one. And because you are different vibrationally and in action and in being, you manifest different realities and you experience different realities. I'm sorry, you guys, my camera cut off. But what I was saying is that in this timeline, because of the way you think, the way you behave, the past, the baggage you're carrying from the past, you manifest a certain reality. So in this timeline, you may not be at the job you love. You may not be in the best living situation or the best relationship. But once you shift your energy and your vibration, and you do that through shifting your mindset, shifting your consciousness, changing your consciousness by harboring different beliefs, changing your perception of the past, changing your perception of yourself, shifting your actions, doing things in a way you never did before. That brings in different energy and shifts your timeline and helps you jump timelines. And what the divine is saying is, the energy is supporting you to be a master jumper right now, to become a time master, to be able to change the past and the future by shifting yourself in the present. Just by changing your perception of the past, you change the future, because you're no longer carrying the same wounded consciousness. If you shift how you perceive the past, for example, let's say that again, this is an example. Let's say that in the past, your family, you have a history of your parents getting a divorce, and usually when you think back to that, you think of, oh, that's why I'm broken. That's why I came from a broken home, and this is, I'm this way because that happened and my father did that. But the thing is, if you shift your consciousness to say, you know what, yes, I was in a broken home, but what that taught me was this, then that, and this had to happen because it's a prelude to, it's a necessary prelude to my future, because I needed that experience in order to develop this certain consciousness. Just by you having a more wise outlook on it and being able to dissect the purpose from it, and being able to dissect what the meaning or the intention of why that had to be a reality, why that was your experience, because everything is for a reason. That already shifts your present perception, and by shifting that present perception, you are putting positive deposits into the future of a different you. So I know that's pretty complex, and I don't have enough time to really go into it on this video specifically, because I'm not trying to make this last 40 minutes. But Libra, you have the ability to shift your time, jump timelines right now. If you can, either way, there's a jump happening. We do it all the time, whether we notice it or not. But you have the ability to right now consciously jump timelines into the timeline of your best self your best self at this moment. And so, but you have to get out of the state of depression and wallowing in the dark energies of either blame or regrets, like whatever the energy is that's no longer serving you. That is not the point. The point is really to just notice, what does this say, to just take the lesson. And once you take the lesson, take action on what it is, what the lesson has taught you. So here you have 3 surrender cards that came out when I was shuffling. You have surrender to inner peace. Leo also got this, and it says, cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy the inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. The other one is surrender stress. As I said, if you guys are wallowing in this past moment, and if you're kind of like still replaying the whole situation back in your head, the scenario again, what this person said to you, how it made you feel, how you're so upset that you did this, how you're so upset that you acted like that and that they acted like this, that is, or regretting your actions and their actions, that is not productive energy. What is productive is looking at the why did this happen. Anytime something happens in your life, ask yourself, why is this happening? What is this trying to teach me? Okay? Because whether negative or positive, it's for your greatest good. So like I said, surrender to stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. And the last one says, surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and the support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So again, although it is necessary to go in this hermit mode, like I said, kind of like in this introspective space, so that you can figure out why this happened and what it's trying to teach you about yourself and about life. Okay, that's really the questions that you're asking yourself. And what the divine is saying is, yes, while that is necessary for you to have some alone time, but also allow people to support you, and don't overly stress and ruminate on what has happened, because the past is gone. It's just necessary to figure out how to move forward and what the lesson here was. And so that's really what I'm getting for you, Libra. I hope that this message helps you and that it helps you on your soul journey. I'm also seeing here two of the last 2 cards here are that once you do come to this realization and figure out how to move forward and start beginning to take action and feeling revitalized, re-energized, feeling more creative and passionate about life, you will be moving towards calmer waters. And there will be an emotional renewal for you, because you're going to feel like emotionally centered and ready to pave a new path. So thank you so much, Libra. Hopefully you come by again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Also, this is a timeless reading, meaning that whenever it finds you is when it's meant for you.